Hi everyone. So today I wanted to do a video not about beauty and not about makeup, not about anything like that. I just actually wanted to make a video about a surgery that I had almost 12 years ago that completely changed my life. I know that's like a cliche to say, but honestly it did, and I just wanted to let you know a little bit about it. And I figure if I can make this video and at least reach out to one person in this world, primary goal from this video is to just at least reach one person, because you know, when I had this surgery, there wasn't there was social media, but there was nobody on YouTube telling me, you know, this was going to happen, or you know, this was the recovery time, or you know, you would be out of school for 2 months. You know, nobody really was on YouTube saying stuff like that, and you really didn't hear much about it. So I figure if I can make a video about my experience, then I can help at least one person. So basically, I will post pictures too throughout the video so you guys can see my pictures. I've shown very few people. I don't even think half of my family. Well, that's a lie because I was there on Christmas. Never mind, my family's seen these pictures, but very few people have seen these pictures. I actually, my mom made me a little scrapbook of my pictures from my surgery that I hold near and dear to my heart. That way I can look back on it and see, you know, how much of a crazy transformation it was. So let's jump right into it. So with my surgery, basically I was born with an underbite. So basically what an underbite is, if you don't know, it is when your bottom jaw goes, it's like out in front of your top teeth. So like your bottom teeth are like this, basically. And I could literally stick my pinky down in the gap between my teeth. So essentially I had a facial deformity that I had to get fixed. It got worse as I got older. And when I was about 15, 16, which is when I had my surgery, it was getting worse. I mean, I slurred my words, my speech was affected, eating, chewing was hard. I just had a lot of discomfort, and it just was not a good situation. It's just basically a severe underbite, and my whole midline of my face was basically off. So my face was basically, I had a facial deformity. And you know, when I was younger, I didn't think anything of it. Well, when I got older, they told me like that would have to be fixed, like ASAP. Like, you don't want to go through your life having this major underbite. For one, it's not normal. For two, it would improve your speech and your chewing and everything that I was having a difficult time with immensely. They were like, so you need to get this done as soon as possible. And when I was younger, I was always really self-conscious of my teeth because I was born without the 2 teeth next to your front teeth. So I was born without those. So what they did was when I had, I'll get into that in a minute, but basically when I was younger, I had gaps in my teeth. I had a big gap in my front teeth, and then I had these 2 huge gaps where those teeth were not, you know, they just didn't come in. I just was born without them. So I was always very, very self-conscious of that, and I thought, you know, if, you know, someday I'm gonna get my teeth fixed. So basically we went to a surgeon, and his name was Dr. Reddy, who I was obsessed with. I loved him. He was the best doctor, and I wish he was still here in Cincinnati, but he's not. He actually moved a few years after I had my surgery. So I was very upset about that, but I was very fortunate for him to be able to do my surgery because I loved him. He actually was on the Discovery Channel on a show called Surgery Saved My Life. And he was on that show, and he was from India, so he went to India, and he does these cleft palate surgeries for these families that can't afford them. And it was such a moving episode, and I still have it on a CD because I just loved it. You know, I'll watch it from time to time just to see, you know, how amazing his work really is and how amazing he is as a doctor and as a person as a whole. But so anyway, I went to the doctor, and they told me, yes, you do need to get this done ASAP. First, I was 16 when I got it done. So I got my braces put on. I don't have my braces on for a while. I only had them on for like a year and a half, I think, if that. Because my teeth weren't crooked or anything. It was very gappy. I had a lot of gaps in my teeth, and you know, what are you gonna do? I was young anyway, so, you know, it was, you know, usual young kids have gaps in their teeth anyway. I was very self-conscious of it, and I wanted anything to get it fixed. So they put braces on me, and I had to have braces on while I had the surgery. That way they can get everything correct, and, you know, my teeth are where they need to be. So I went into surgery. I had surgery in December 20th of 2016, and it was the scariest, most, I can't even explain how scared I was. I remember, so my mom and my stepdad, I drove with them, and then my dad met us there, and it was super early. I mean, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, it was dead of winter. I'm like freezing. I got like a hoodie on, a jacket, and some sweatpants, and I'm just covering my face the whole time because I was so scared. I like just didn't know what to do, and I never really had a big surgery or anything, and I'm deathly afraid of needles, even though I have tattoos and stuff, but that's on another subject. But I remember just being terrified, and I just was so scared. And I was like, you know, are people going to make fun of me when I come out of this? I mean, am I going to be, you know, how long am I going to be out of school? And I can't, you know, because you can't eat, and, you know, all of these different things that kind of that I try to take into consideration that, you know, were very real to me, and that I just didn't know. I just had a lot of things on my mind, and I was just like, you know, I don't know what the outcome is going to be, basically. All I knew is that I wanted to get it done, and I wanted to get it done fast because I was tired of waiting because I was so scared. But anyway, on to my surgery. So I went into the hospital room where they, you know, prep you for, you know, give you your IV, you know, make sure you have no metals on you and all this stuff. And I freaked out. I was like, you're not giving me an IV? I want to see my doctor. And they were like, he can't come in here, he's prepping for surgery. So I'm like, no, I want to see him. Like I promise you, I'll let you, you know, put the IV in if I can just see my doctor. I just want to see him because he was so comforting. It was just, you know, they probably thought I was crazy. But anyway, so they were like, Stephanie, let's just numb your arm, and then we'll put the IV in. You won't even feel it. So they numbed my arm with this little needle, which I'm like, what's the difference? You're already poking me with a needle. Just put the IV in at that point. So I felt the needle, and they were like, you can't feel that. I'm like, I felt that stick. Like, I felt it. So as they're doing that, I see my doctor walk in, and as soon as they do that, they just put the IV in, and I'm good to go. So I'm like, okay, thankfully I got it in. I'm good. I'm ready for surgery. Let's do this. So I remember them taking me back into the operating room, and then after that, I really don't remember much. And yeah, I just remember, I don't remember much. I remember going back in there, and that's about it. And then I do remember once my surgery was over, I think it took, I don't really know how long it took. I would have to ask my mom and my dad, and I don't really know. So Mom, if you know, if you can comment below. But anyway, I do remember laying in the hospital bed, and I remember just, you know, still being sedated, but I remember my dad saying, breathe, Stephanie, breathe, just breathe, Stephanie. Because I don't know if I just wasn't breathing or what was going on. Like, I don't know if I was just breathing very slow or what I was doing, but I do remember that. And then when I woke up, they were like, you know, she's bleeding a lot. We don't know why she's bleeding. This is before I even found out that I had a bleeding disorder, which that'll be another video. But so we have found the answer to that, why I was bleeding so much. But so after I had the surgery, I was in the hospital for, I would say, a day and a half. And I was just so thankful to, you know, I finally had this surgery that essentially will change my life, because it'll change my facial deformity. It'll change how I chew, how I speak. It'll change the way that my teeth are, my mouth is, and, you know, people can say what they want, but I feel like everybody is self-conscious of their smile and their teeth at least once in their life. So so I was very happy just to have it done. And I was out of school for about almost 2 months. I took my exams, and I took all, you know, my work and stuff. I did it at home, which was nice. But you know, I was out of school for a while, just because, you know, you are very swollen, and you will see my pictures how swollen my face was and how different I look. But so, and then I remember going home And everybody always asks me, they're like, oh my gosh, didn't that hurt? Like, oh my gosh, were you in so much pain? Like, and I wasn't. I really was not in pain at all. The only thing that hurt was to laugh and smile. So you'll see in my pictures when I post them, I'm not smiling or laughing or doing anything in any of them because it hurts so bad. I remember my two friends, they were coming to visit me after school one day, and one of them made a joke, and I laughed, and I literally ran behind my mom's counter and started crying, but I was laughing still. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because it hurt so bad. I can't even describe the pain. It just felt like somebody was just pulling my my jaw like apart. Because, you know, I just had major surgery. And that actually brings me to a good point. So people always say they break your jaw, it's wired shut. My jaw was not wired shut. It was just, you'll see in my pictures, I had a bandage right here. And it's you know, not the best picture, but they did not wire my jaw shut. I could eat, I had to eat, you know, liquids, and then once I got the hang of it, I would start eating like rice, mashed potatoes. I would eat, you know, stuff that I could just swallow without having to actually chew, and I would get really good at that. So, I mean, I had to, because I was like, I'm done eating like just soup, and, you know, I'm just done with it, you know. So I finally got to, you know, that point where I was like, I'm just gonna be a pro at this and just start eating whole foods that I could just swallow. Another funny story is my dad, so me and my dad are watching TV, and like I said, the only thing that hurt was to smile and laugh. We were watching, I think it was Paula Deen. I don't know if we were watching her show or she was on a commercial, I can't remember which one, but she said oil. You know how she says oil, it's a very thick accent. He goes, oh, what's oil? And like in the funniest way that he possibly could. And I started laughing so hard, and I was like, Dad, you can't make me laugh. And he felt so bad, but it was just the only thing that hurt. And I hated it because I'm like, I can't smile, I can't laugh, I can't make any facial expression, which you'll see in my pictures again, that I literally make no facial expression until probably a month after my surgery, which is, you know, it's not fun not to laugh or smile, you know, because you want to show expression. But so I was swollen, very swollen, and they told me that I would be swollen, you wouldn't even recognize yourself, and I did not. I mean, I looked very different. I mean, I had just a whole facial construction surgery, so I looked different, and I look different to this day. But was it for, you know, beauty and cosmetics? No, it was not. It was something that I needed to have done. It's a medical necessity that I had to have this done. And I know Bristol Palin, she, I think, had the same surgery as I did, because when she like came, you know, she was out of the public eye or something, they said, and then she came back in, she looked totally different. And she said she had an underbite and she had to undergo jaw surgery. And I will be the first one to tell you, it does change your looks, because you're literally having a huge surgery on your face. I mean, they literally had to, with me, my nose is a little different. They did tweak my nose, so it's up a little bit. My cheekbones are a little higher just because of how they kind of did my nose, and then they had to inject fat into my upper lip, because if not, it would have just sunken my face in, which, why would you go through this surgery and then have all that, you know, have your face, you know, be sunken in, like, so there's things that they had to do. They almost had to do cheek implants, which would have been really weird, but thankfully they didn't have to do that. They just did some, injected some fat into my lip and then just tweaked my nose a little bit, and that's all they had to do, and it's been fine. I'm sorry if I'm like jumping around in this story because I'm trying to like remember things. I try to jot it all down, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with it and tell people, you know, my experience. So like I said, I was off school for a while, and you know, anything to get me out of the house, you know, we would go to dinner, we would go look at Christmas lights. I did spend Christmas Eve with my dad's family and Christmas Day with my mom's family, like I always do, and I didn't want to be in any pictures. My mom did sneak a few, but that's okay. But at my dad's house, my dad's family's, I was like, no. I sat in a chair, and my sister sat there next to me the whole night, and my dad, you know, would sit there with me, and I couldn't really do much, just because I was so swollen and I was uncomfortable. And then when I went back to school, you know, I was fearful of what people would say and think of me, and if they would make fun of me. But I was actually welcomed with, you know, I'm getting a little teary. I was actually welcomed, you know, by people very warmly. And I went to an all-girls Catholic school, and I remember thinking, you know, am I going to be made fun of? Am I, you know, what are people going to think, you know, because I do look different. And I was still swollen. I was swollen for a good 2 years, maybe even 3 after that. And I was just very concerned how people were what people were going to think of me. But I was welcomed back to school very, very warmly. And the people that I went to school with, I don't know, they will never know how much that meant to me, how much they just didn't judge me. You know, I don't know what they said behind closed doors, but I never felt judged. I felt very comfortable the first day I came back. My teachers were all so great. My mom, you know, emailed every single one of them before I had my surgery to explain what's going on, and they were just so supportive and just great. I mean, honestly, I literally couldn't imagine going back to school and having people be mean or judgmental. I'm very thankful that I went to school and I was not judged. I was not made fun of. It was just a warm welcome back. So then on to, you know, a few months, I, you know, gradually started getting my smile back. I could smile and, you know, I could laugh, and it kind of got to that point where I was back to myself. I was still swollen, but I could talk, I could eat, I could smile, laugh, do all those things, and I could be comfortable again. Then I got my braces off in April. So the April after I had my surgery, I got my braces off, and I was still swollen. Like I said, I'm going to say I was still swollen probably 1,000 times because I was swollen forever. And I got my braces off, and I was just amazed with, you know, the end result. And I do have, which I'm actually getting fixed here in a few weeks, I do have bonding on my teeth, on these two teeth, and then I have it in the middle of my 2 front teeth, just because I still would have gaps there. And they try to make these teeth, basically what they did with these teeth is they pushed those forward and then just shaved down like the sharp part of the tooth, and then they put bonding on these 4 front teeth to make it look as natural as possible. Would I have liked to get implants instead of them pushing my teeth forward? Yes, I would, because some days there are days where I look at my smile and I'm like, I wish that I had, you know, a toothier smile, which is weird. People are probably thinking, what in the world are you talking about? But I do sometimes wish that. But at the end of the day, I was 16. I could not get implants. I was too young. So I'm very grateful for, you know, the surgery that I was able to get. And I'm very, you know, grateful for everything that has come of the surgery, because I am more confident. My smile has changed 100%. My teeth are straight. I can chew. I can talk. I will say that I do not have feeling on my top lip and in my upper mouth area. I really don't have feeling. I can feel like when I do this, like pressure, but it's still kind of tight and kind of just, it's numb still, basically. And then also if I go like this on my nose, I can feel my screws, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but it's also pretty cool. I just thought that I would make this video just to tell, you know, I know that I've looked on YouTube for a few of these videos just to see other people's experiences, and there are a few out there, and then I just decided that I would make my own video just to see if, you know, I could make a difference in somebody's life, and hopefully reach out to somebody and kind of tell them, you know, this surgery is hard to go through. It's definitely something that you do have to kind of go in knowing that you're not going to get results right away. You're going to be swollen. It's going to hurt to smile and laugh. It may even hurt other ways. I don't know. For me, it didn't hurt except for what I've already talked about. But you'll get through it, and at the end result is amazing, because you feel like you kind of were just given a second chance at, you know, being yourself, because your face and your mouth and everything is you. You know, it's not something that you try to hide. When I was younger, obviously, I was very self-conscious of that, like I said before, but now I smile a lot. I'm just very happy that I had the surgery done, and it's almost been 12 years. And I'm very thankful to my family for always being so supportive, and you know, they never once judged me either. So it's a hard surgery. And my uncle actually had the same surgery when he was younger, but it, you know, that was when he was younger. So it was a little different, but it was the same, you know, concept. He had an underbite, they had to go in there. His jaw was actually wired shut, but thankfully mine was not. It was not wired shut. I could move it. But I hope you guys like this video, and I'm gonna sit here and think if I missed anything. That way I can edit it in. But I will post some pictures of my surgery. If you guys are a little queasy, I would kind of maybe not look at them, because some do have involved blood, because I did have a little piece of gauze right here underneath my nose, and it has a little bit of blood all over it. But other than that, I will post those. And I thank you guys for watching, and like I said, I hope this inspired at least one person, or got to one person that might be having the same surgery that I had. And I just want to let you know that you will get through it, and you will be a lot happier once you do. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.